Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group, and today is Wednesday, June 18, 2025. And as every other day, just a lot of news going on. And, the market, though, is focused on really one thing, and that's at 2 o'clock, the Federal Reserve and the Federal Open Market Committee will make the announcement concerning interest rates. Now, there's not going to be any change today. That's pretty obvious. The Fed really does guide and gives winks and nods as to what they're going to be doing, and nothing's going to happen today. However, in the press release, and then in Jerome Powell's press conference after that, it's about 2:20 or so, there'll be a lot of eyes on what he says. And if he gives any indication on future interest rates or his future projections on inflation or economic strength and all these things. So that's going to be could be a very volatile afternoon. And I think that sets up for an interesting period because you've got, maybe the press conference ends, after 3 o'clock. Well, you got less than an hour to kind of position. Then tomorrow is a holiday. And then Friday is options and futures expiration. So you've got this dynamic where there's significant news concerning the Fed, and then a holiday tomorrow. And then meanwhile for tomorrow, the Middle East, Israel and Iran's continuing. Ukraine, Russia's continuing. China trade talks are continuing. So any of these things could be very disruptive or very supportive of markets. And then you come back on Friday, and as I said, it's again futures and options expiration. It's a huge number, historically very high total of the derivatives and the notional value of these derivatives, and that could be and result in movements that have nothing to do with the positive news out of the Middle East or tariffs and like that, and the market could be tanking because of positioning and expiration of these derivatives. So it's a very unique time, and I think we have to be mindful and watchful, but also very flexible, and and be ready to be confused, I guess. Because I think there could be, a lot of movements that could be very illogical given the backdrop of the news flow. So again, this afternoon, very important. How do you position? I mean, it's just maybe just a lot smaller, or be a little bit defensive makes some sense, but then be ready to react to some positive news if we get that. So again, very difficult environment. If we can help, please call, text, email, whatever. We like to have a conversation. We're willing to do that. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back on Friday. Thank you again. Goodbye.